Hello and welcome everyone. I completed the Pact Master Mission solo. I thought I'd upload the footage of that and explain to you how I did it with a few tips along the way. I've got the build that I used, or the builds that I used, should I say. I used two builds to solo this, and I got a few tips of how we get through this mission quite easily. I will warn you though, this last bit is an absolute nightmare. Good point about it though, it says checkpoint, so if you do die, you can keep on retrying. In this run though, I don't wipe at all. I get all the way here. In fact, my first attempt at solo, I got all the way to these marauders. And the reason why we're using two builds is because of these marauders. The first build I show you didn't work on these solo. Worked great in a group, but solo we had to put together something a little bit extra. So I'll show you the builds now, and then you're going to see this full run with tips. Please remember that there are plenty of ways to go about this, plenty of builds you can use. I'm just showing you how I did it. Feel free to share your opinions on how you did it in the comments, so by all means. Now, this is the first build you're going to want to use. I have used this build to solo every single master mission so far. Hands up, the last one, I got a Delta on the boss. I rage quit when that happened live on stream and haven't been back since. But I will at some point. This build will do it. However, on this one, like we just explained, this build wasn't enough because of that final boss. But right up to the final boss, I use this build. St. Elmo's, level 30 expertise. Doesn't matter about any of the other weapons. With the gunner specialization for armor on kill and rate of fire. Memento backpack with a crit damage mod on it. 4-piece striker, all with crit damage on it. You can see 3 blue cores, 1 red core on that. And then the Palisade chest for more armor on kill. It's got a blue core, crit chance, crit damage, and a crit damage mod. It's got Obliterate as the talent on that. We've got a 6 skill tier Crusader shield, a Revive Hive, and the build absolutely wrecks on this solo master. You see in the footage now, it's perfect. But the final boss, that build didn't quite do it. I'd never tried throwing a decoy on it though. I do feel like if I have a decoy, the final boss might be achievable with that blue striker because the damage does make it easier, whereas this build I'm showing you now is a lot less damage. However, it's so much more survivability. So I made this. You go with what you want though. Maybe try, like I said, there's a checkpoint before that last boss. You can try different things, but we're going with the survivalist specialization for protection from elites. Same St. Elmo's, level 30 expertise. The other weapons don't matter. Same Memento backpack with protection from elites is the mod this time. No, not crit damage. We've then got a chill out mask. We've got armor, crit damage, and 2 PFE mods on that. We've got the same Palisade chest piece for armor on kill. It's got crit chance, crit damage, and a PFE mod on that with Obliterate this time. Then I've got the 511 death grips. Now the reason I'm going for these is to replace the armor on kill that I get from gunner, because I'm using survivalist for PFE. I still want that 10% armor on kill to make it 20 with the Palisade, and these do that. Got crit damage as a roll there with an armor on there as well. We get 30% health. I guess it helps to build a little bit, but it's mainly for the armor on kill that I'm using that. And then I've got 2 improvised pieces on the holster and the knees. We got an improvised with weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, and a PFE mod. And then we got an improvised knees with armor, crit chance, crit damage mod there. Why not a PFE mod? Because it's not needed. I believe, I forget what the cap is. I think if we have a quick look at the stats and go to protection from elites, we're 72. I'm not sure if the cap is 75. Could be 70, might be 80. I don't know. But 72% is absolutely fine. So I guess your next question would be, well, why not just go Grupo knees then? Or Fox's Prayer? Well, you can if you want. I wanted a blue core. I had these there. I literally threw this together with what I had in my stash. So these knee pads, they could be Grupo knee pads. They could be Fox's Prayer. They could be what you want, to be honest with you. But it's important, I'd say, to have 5 blue cores on this. What this is going to give you is, if you do want to run with a Crusader shield, it's going to give you a 6 skill tier Crusader shield in case you wanted to run this through all of the mission because you want that extra survivability. But yeah, it's all about survivability, and I feel like the 5 blue cores were really good. We've got 5 blue, 2 red cores, Revive Hive, decoy. You'll see in the clip why we use a decoy. And before we get into the run and the footage, just one more thing. With the modifiers this season, make sure you take over all of your control points in DC because you're going to get some big boosts for doing that. I made sure I did that before my solo run. My first solo attempt, I didn't. I did get all the way to the two Marauders at the very end without a problem. However, when I took over all the control points, I really noticed the extra damage. You get 30% rate of fire, you get 30% weapon damage. You're going to want that. And as for the modifiers in this clip, I use these. We got a Zealot. That's an absolute must. If you haven't already, level it up to level 5. Just doing a few Outcast retaliations with this equipped will get it leveled up quite quickly. A couple of hours, you'll be done. If this isn't level 5, it isn't that good. So level 5. And the passive modifiers, we've got Rupert's Tear, we've got Stepping Stone, and we've got Keep Out. Now, when you get to the final encounter, Rupert's Tear is a little bit pointless. If you want to, swap this out for something else. I don't bother. In this clip, I just keep it like this the whole run. Okay, so finally the gameplay, how this is going to go is I'm going to show you this run in full. I'm not going to be talking all the way through this video though. What I'm going to do is just give you some tips along the way at the start of each area or anything that I think you need to know to help you on this solo attempt. This first bit is very easy. Just appreciate the damage that we're getting out of this 6 skill tier shield build with all the blues that we've got on there, and we haven't even stacked up yet. The Memento and the Striker really does pack a punch on this build, and you'll see why I use it for this content. It's amazing. But yeah, this first area, not a problem. We're now going to go into the next area, and I will keep on commentating at this point because you want to make sure the first thing you do here is take out the turrets, and you got to save a Zealot for this. So I'm going to keep on running down the right side, and I'm going to hit Zealot the second I start to take damage. I just took a big chunk, hit Zealot. I'm now invincible for 20 seconds minimum. I'm going to take out the first turret, and I'm going to run to take out the next turret. So try to get a sneaky kill there. Try and focus just on the turrets, to be honest with you. Your goal here is to get all 3 turrets down in this one use of Zealot, and then you're going to go back to a safe area. And the safest area that I found solo for this is back to near where we came in. It is near a spawn point, but you've got your shield. You'll have more Zealots if needed. Throughout this, think of Zealot as something that's going to get you out of the mess. Save it for those moments, but also you want to use it when you've got some mechanic to do, and that's how I use it through all of this, really, for mechanics and to get me out of the mess. If I think I'm about to go down, I'll hit Zealot to stop me from going down to give me 20 seconds of invincibility. But this is the spot now where I cover the rest of this encounter here. No more tips for you. Just take care, be careful, and enjoy.
Serious trauma detected.
With the first area done, that's one of the tougher areas. It's probably the toughest area up until where the mortars start, I'd say. But make sure you hit a restock. And this second area is very easy, but we are going to be aggressive. It's important to be aggressive in this area. I feel like if you're not aggressive, you're going to make it a bit more hard for yourself. So you want to take out this first spawn. When you get to the last ad, there's going to be a spawn to the right of where I am now, and what you want to try and do is spawn trap it. If you can spawn trap that spawn there, use zealot if needed, because you can just make things really easy for yourself. And when the marauder comes in, it is the perfect position to take on the marauder. Any rockets that it fires at you is probably going to hit the environment around you, and you're pretty much safe there from the marauder. It just makes it nice and easy. So you'll see I'm heading to the spawn trap now. This is the spawn trap I was on about, and just see how I do the rest of this. I just hit zealot because I got in the mess. If you don't get in the mess though, don't use it unless you do. But enjoy the rest of this encounter. I'll leave you with it.
Marauder class quadcopter detected. Immediate medical assistance needed.
So moving on now, what we're going to do for the next area is we're going to hit the restock. Don't forget to do that. And we're going to take out the initial ads from this position here. It's the safest position to do so. Most of the ads will run at you. There are some grenaders in there. There are some drone people in there. So do prioritize them if you can. But from this position, you're pretty much safe.
System malfunctioning. System reactivated.
With the ads gone, don't forget to hit a restock and try and keep the memento trophies on the floor. They're going to be handy for later if needed. We're going to use this interaction here, the communication relay, and we need to say in the square. Now focus on the right side. This is the harder relay to do, I feel, because you're gonna get some chungers on the right side. There'll be two, and there'll be another two after they are dead. But at this point, you're gonna get some ads spawn in on your area, so you want to try to get these chungers gone as quick as possible. You see, I'm really tunnel visioning them, and then I'm gonna deal with the ads that have spawned in here. But also on top of the tower, you've got a sniper, you've got a grenader. Try and get these gone ASAP. There's two grenaders, sorry, with one sniper. They're an absolute nightmare. If you can get them gone quickly, things are quite easy. You will notice that I am 100% on the charge now, though, and you can move around. However, you kind of want to stay here until you've at least dealt with the two chungers that have just spawned in on the right again and the guys in the tower. Once you've done this, the second terminal you interact with is a little bit easier. It'll switch from Black Tusk and it'll go over to Outcast. So you do need to be careful of the exploders. They can be a little bit annoying, and also the people, the controllers that put out those little ankle biters, as I call them. They can be annoying as well. But it's much more easier this one. You don't have any ads in watchtowers like this. They're trying to grenade you, and you don't have as many tanks. So I'll leave you with the rest of this encounter now. Just take your time and make sure you use Zealot if you get in trouble. It's going to be a lifesaver. I'd always use Zealot before taking it down. We're now coming up to a fun area. Don't forget to restock. You got an armor kit and grenade here as well if you need them. And the initial part of this area is very easy. We're just gonna take the ads out. You can stay at this door if you want to. You can be a little bit more aggressive if you want to. It is outcast though. There are exploders, so just be careful. It is now this part of the encounter, though, that I was initially dreading after my first playthrough of this mission. However, it's very easy. What we're going to do is we're going to run up to the EMP that we want to interact with. And when we start taking damage, we're going to hit Zealot. So make sure you have a Zealot for this first interaction. You can see me interacting with it now. I am going to hit Zealot and try and take on as many enemies as I can until Zealot gets to about 10 stacks left, and then I'm going to retreat. The reason I'm doing that is because to activate the EMP, you want to be within the zone for the charge to go up. You can see I'm backing up at 14 instead. I've just had quite a lot of heat on me. I'm heading back this way, and we're going to get prepped for when Zealot runs out. So when Zealot runs out, we're going to have the EMP explosion, and we're going to want to take a med kit. So just be careful of that. But once you've done that, just get your shield out and deal with the enemies from back here. There will be a few spawns behind you need to deal with, but there's only like 1 or 2 ads tops that spawn. It's not too difficult at all, and you can kill all the ads in front of you. Once all the ads are dead, you can then interact with the EMP again by charging it up in its proximity without any ads to deal with. And then once you've got to interact with it again at halfway, just interact with it, deal with the skills until the EMP is fully charged. And then after that, you'll be making your way on to the hovercraft. Now, this hovercraft section is quite easy, to be honest with you. I make it look hard at times. I'm now recording this. I died twice here. I annoyed myself. I got too overconfident. So the key is to stay back here where you came in. There's a restock if needed. Ads will all come at you, and there is a spawn on your right side that you can spawn trap and get rid of very, very quickly. The hardest part of this section is when it switches over to outcasts. There can be different spawns. It's going to be exploders. You can get caught off guard on the exploders. So at that point, be ready to hit Zealot and don't be scared to use it, and try and save Zealot for that moment as soon as the outcasts come in, because it's just going to give you enough protection to deal with the initial spawn and any exploders that might hit you, and you'll be absolutely fine. I'd say medics are the high priority here, because medics are going to be reviving people, so if you do see them, try and take care of them ASAP. But obviously any explodes or anything like that are also high priority. But back here is the perfect position. At the end of this encounter, there will be the rogue agent spawn. You'll see that I use Zealot because I do get flustered with the outcasts, and when the rogue agents spawn in, I don't have Zealot to proc, so I just take my time. I wait for Zealot to come in, I use Zealot, and I use that to take out the rogues very, very easily. But this section isn't too difficult, and as long as you take your time, you'll be fine.
Vital signs critical. Agent down. Rogue agent detected. Hostile sniper turret detected.
Come here.
Rogue agent eliminated. Serious trauma detected.
Let me get that for you, Agent.
So this is now where things get fun, because mortars get introduced and they're so annoying. You are going to need to dodge them. They will hurt you. Now, as soon as you come out into this area, what you want to do is just head down to where I'm going here. You're going to be right next to the weak spot that you need to shoot to take out the turret when it spawns in. The turret will spawn once this first wave is dealt with. You're also going to get a lot more ads at that point as well, so just be wary of that. But from here, what we're going to do is just kill that first wave of ads. As soon as we've done that and the turret spawns in, we're going to take out the turret right away. And then we've got to dodge mortars from that point onwards. Feel free to go back onto the hovercraft if you want to, because it's very safe up there. You got a lot to back into if needed, and that's probably the safest spot after you took out the turret. Or be as aggressive as you're comfortable with as well. Use Zealot if needed, as I've kept on saying. If you get into muddle, just hit Zealot, use it to get yourself out of that muddle, and try not to go down. When you lose that revive hive, that's when things can get really messy and you might wipe. So the key is to keep that revive hive at all times. And like I said, go back if you need to and be as aggressive as you're comfortable with.
Got one over there.
System restored. Vital signs critical. System disrupted.
As we push forward, now it's more of the same. Be as aggressive as you're comfortable with, but you can pull back as far as you want. You'll constantly be dealing with mortars, and your job here is just to kill all the ads, and you will be taking out another turret. It's not in this area here, it's in the next area. So what you're going to want to do is just clear these ads here as quick as you can, and then once you go into the next area, make sure you have a Zealot active. You can see that I'm just about, well, I'm using a Zealot right now, so I'm going to take my time a little bit because of that, and we're just going to keep on clearing some ads. But at this point now, as long as you've got Zealot, what you want to do is you want to hit Zealot, go into the next area and deal with the turrets before coming back to this area where we are now to finish the rest of the encounter. I get hit by a lot of mortars during this. I make this look a lot harder than it needs to be. My other runs through of this mission, this area was so much smoother, but yeah, we don't go down, we just get hit by a few mortars off guard, and you just got to be careful with that. So you can also see, because I've used Zealot, I'm quite delayed here, and I think that's what makes it a little bit more difficult. By now we should have already hit the mortars, but I had to proc Zealot earlier because I got in a mess. So just be careful. You don't need to push forward like I am now. I'm trying to push forward and clear some ads while I'm waiting for my Zealot. I could literally pull right back to wait for it and just have an easy life, but I'm making things a little bit more difficult. I am going to cut out in a moment, but just 5 seconds away now from dealing with the turret. So as soon as I see Zealot, I've ran in, I'm proccing it, and we are going to take out the turret. You've got one weak spot there, and then the other is in the right corner here. Once they're done, you can pull back to that other position where I was and finish off this encounter from there.
System restored. Vital signs critical.
Once you've got this far, you have reached a checkpoint. It's the last few ads before the checkpoint. Actually, don't die here. It'd be horrible to die here, to be honest with you. Just a few ads, like at the very start of the mission that you got to deal with. And it's also where Anderson gets away. So you're just going to kill these ads. You're going to watch Anderson get away on his boat. And then you're going to switch your build. So just one more ad for us to deal with. And there we go. So this is where I change over from the Blue Striker build and we go to that PFE build that I shown you. The one where you can go Grupo on the knee pads if you want to, or whatever you want. So this is the build I'm using now. I've got a decoy on, and this is what helps on this final encounter. I'm not going to talk through all of this. I'm just going to quickly explain what I do here. I do play aggressive. The build enables me to do that. I use a decoy as often as I can to take aggro, especially when the two marauders come in. I'll be using that decoy to take that aggro. And you are just doing the mechanics. It's basically kill ads, dodge the machine gun, take out mortars. And you're constantly killing ads, taking out the mortars, dodging the machine gun, as well as dodging the mortars. You've got a checkpoint. If you fail, you can keep on trying at this point. Feel free to trial and error between the Blue Striker build and this build that I've switched to, because the Blue Striker does work here. It works very well. It hits so much harder. It's just when the two marauders spawn in, I was having a lot of difficulty with it. Maybe with a decoy, I didn't try the decoy with that build. Maybe it would have done. I don't know. Maybe you could try that and let me know. But this build gave me a ton more survivability. It let me play a lot more aggressive. With the Blue Striker build, I basically stayed back to where I came into the area, did the whole thing from there up to the marauders, apart from taking out the mortars. And but with this build, I could run around, I could face tank. I felt a lot more comfortable with it. So I do recommend this. And yeah, you get to see how I do it now. Good luck with this. I'm gonna cut out now and not come back. So thank you for watching. I hope this video has been helpful. Don't forget to support it. Hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more content, comment down below to support the video and the algorithm even more. And until the next one, enjoy the rest of this. Take care.
The general's away. Now let's buy him some more time. Orders, my position. Danger close.
Sir, I got range.
I'm all buttoned up. Now fire everything we got and give him heck. abandoning position.
Incoming backup request.
Get that second mortar firing, Corporal!
Sir, yes, sir.
System malfunctioning.
taking critical damage.
Get it clear!
Someone's down.
starting to come in from across the city. True Sons, Hyenas, Outcasts, Black Tusk, all at each other's throats. Nobody seems to know exactly what happened, but it definitely looks like the Pact is dead in the water. Too bad we didn't get Sokol over Anderson, but still, not a bad day's work.
I know a few natural holes. I'll start shaking the trees, see if I can't suss out where she's gone to ground.
Vital signs critical.
Sir? General Anderson! Sir? Black Tusk teams have pulled out of sectors 3, 9, and 11. The men are starting to wonder what's going on. Sir, there's something else. Our political officers have confiscated dozens of these. It's all across the city, sir.